Ever dreamed of going to another dimension? Well, these places might just have you covered. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. I'm your host Emily and today we are counting down our list of the top 10 portals on Earth that lead to a parallel dimension. Coming in at number 10 is the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle covers about 500,000 square miles of ocean off the southeastern tip of Florida. It's a section of the Atlantic Ocean roughly bounded by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, where dozens of ships and airplanes have disappeared. Unexplained circumstances surround this area as it's known that compasses have malfunctioned here back when Christopher Columbus was sailing the world. Now, some speculate that unknown and mysterious forces account for the unexplained disappearances, such as extraterrestrials capturing humans for study, the influence of the lost continent of Atlantis, and vortexes that suck objects into other dimensions. There have been so many planes and ships that have gone missing over the area, with people on them suddenly just going poof. Now, where did all those people go? I think to another dimension. Number 9, the Gates of Guinea. According to voodoo mythology, the newly dead are sent to a kind of purgatory before traveling to meet their ancestors in the deep waters. Known as Guinea, this realm is presided over by the notorious Loa, who goes by the name of Baron Samedi. There are tales of voodoo practitioners opening the Gates of Guinea to reclaim the souls of the dead. Now, souls in this lost land are considered to be at high risk from hoodoo magicians who have the power to reanimate them as zombies. Yeah. Zombies. While some followers of voodoo interpret the seven gates as a spiritual metaphor, others believe them to exist in the physical realm. Now, one of these stories locates the gates in New Orleans. To enter Guinea, it is said that one must open the 7 gates in the correct order. Each successive gate is presided over by one of the Loa of Death, who must be appeased with the appropriate offerings. Now, although the exact location of the gates have never been disclosed, there have been suggestions over the years that the clue may lie in the Vive or summoning signal of Baron Samedi himself. Appearing as a crucifix surmounted by 7 stars, the symbol might be a map of some kind and once aligned over the crossroads of Canal Street and Bazin Street in the city's French Quarter, as the stars of the Veve seem to fall on notable surrounding cemeteries. Number 8, the Houska Triangle. This remote area is infamous for alien abductions, Bigfoot sightings, and paranormal phenomena and vanishing airplanes. Like much of Alaska, the triangle contains some of the most rugged, unforgiving wilderness in North America. It's an impossible vast expanse of dense forests, craggy mountain peaks, alpine lakes, and large swaths of plain old wilderness. Now, with all this, it's no shock that people go missing. What is surprising, however, is the sheer number of people who go missing. Add to the fact that many disappear without a shred of evidence, and bodies, alive or dead, are rarely found. More than 16,000 people, including airplane passengers, hikers, locals, and tourists, have disappeared within the Houska Triangle since 1988. The rate per 1,000 people is more than twice the national missing person average, and the rate of people who are never found is even higher. Now, the numbers don't lie, and they imply that something else is going on here than people merely getting lost in the mountains. Is it a portal taking people to another world? I think so. Number 7, Houska Castle. The Houska Castle is located in the forest north of Prague and is one of the most haunted places in the world. According to the legend, on this exact spot, there was a huge hole in the ground that was considered to be the gateway to hell. Paranormal activities were disturbing the region, and the Bohemians thought they would solve their problems if they covered the hole, so that's why they built the castle. Now, no one actually wanted to build this castle and get close to the portal, so they used prisoners to help. Hundreds of prisoners were forced to go into the pit to build the foundation for the castle. However, when they were taken out of the hole, they all looked like old men. The first prisoner lasted only a few seconds before he began screaming. When he was pulled back up, the story goes, his hair had turned white, and it seemed like he'd aged 30 years, and he babbled incoherently about half-human creatures who flapped through the darkness of grotesque wings. Now, today, witnesses report several different forms of paranormal activities, and some even claim that the site contains remains of demonic beasts who escaped from the pit. Number 6, Gate of the Sun. Believed by some to be a portal to the land of the gods, the Gate of the Sun in Bolivia shares much of its legends with other similar sites. Tiwanaku is a city said to be one of the most important sites of ancient America, with legends stating that the sun god Viracocha appeared in Tiwanaku and made it the place of creation, the place he chose to start the human race. Carved from one block of stone and thought to be 14,000 years old, the gateway displays what appears appears to be human beings with rectangular helmets. Now, this has led many researchers to state the purpose of the gate is indeed connected to something astronomical. The top middle of the arch features a carving of the supposed sun god and shows what looks to be rays of light appearing behind and forcing their way all around all sides of the deity's head. Although it now stands upright, when it was found by European explorers in the mid-1800s, it was said to have been lying horizontally. It also appears to have a large crack on the top right of the arch, and it is unknown how this happened. Number 5. Sedona Vortexes. Sedona, a small town in Arizona, was once known by the Native American tribes as Nawanda, and at one time the most sacred city to them. It is said that the red rocks of the desert that surround the small town can create vortexes with the capability of transporting people to another realm or dimension. Native Americans believe that these rocks were spiritually charged, while sounds emanating from them have been reported. In the 1950s, a local tribesman was aiding treasure hunters who were searching for gold in the mountains. He told them a story of his people, dating it back to the 1800s, of 3 tribesmen who had discovered the archway while riding in the desert. The story goes that when one of them walked through, he simply disappeared. The helpful tribesman stated he had also seen a strange incident at the alleged doorway. While out in the desert, a sudden rainstorm hit the area and turned the skies gray with clouds. Now, as he turned to leave, he caught a glimpse of the archway and saw that the skies through the arch were clear blue. He walked closer to it, seeing that the archway's image of the mountain range was the same and the only difference was the sky. However, he too became scared, mounted his horse, and returned home. Number 4. The Bennington Triangle. Located in the southwestern part of Vermont, this landlocked triangular area is notorious for a string of unexplained disappearances that occurred there. Between 1945 and 1950, 5 people disappeared in the Bennington Triangle. Now, the shocking thing is 4 out of the 5 missing people were never found. The only person found was Frida Langer. On October 28, 1950, Frida and her cousin Herbert Elsner left their family campsite near the Somerset Reserve to go on a hike. During the journey, she slipped and fell into a stream, and she told Herbert if he would wait, she would go back to the campsite, change clothes, and catch up to him. Now, when she did not return, Herbert made his way back to the campsite and discovered that Frida had not returned and that nobody had seen her since they left. Over the next 2 weeks, 5 searches were conducted involving aircraft, helicopters, and up to 300 searchers. No trace of Frida was found during the search, and then on May 12, 1951, Frida's body was found 3.5 miles from the campsite in the eastern branch of the Deerfield River, an area that had been searched 7 months previously. No cause of death could be determined because of the condition of her remains, and it appears that the Bennington Triangle will always remain a mystery. Number 3. The Stanley Hotel. The Stanley Hotel is a 140-room colonial revival hotel about 5 miles from the entrance to Rocky Mountain National Park. Now, the Stanley Hotel inspired the Overlook Hotel in Stephen King's 1977 best-selling novel, The Shining. Now, the owner died in 1940, but many believe his presence can still be seen and felt at the hotel, mainly at the bar and in the billiard room. The ghost of his wife Flora has a habit for tinkering around on the hotel's piano, according to multiple accounts. Now, the 4th floor is the most haunted, with guests hearing children's laughter in the hall with no one to be found. Down the hall in room 407, multiple guests have reported being tucked into bed by some invisible force, and others have felt someone sit on the foot of the bed only to find nothing there. In room 428, some have had the vision of a cowboy looming over the bed as they slept or standing in the corner. Now, how do all these ghosts get in there? Well, it's the portal in the hotel. When you enter the hotel, there is a staircase landing filled with paintings and mirrors facing each other. Now, if you don't know, it's said if you put 2 mirrors in front of each other, they create a portal to another world. Why would anyone place 2 mirrors in front of each other? For the portal, of course, and that's exactly what they did at the Stanley Hotel. Number 2. The Devil's Sea. In the Pacific Ocean south of Tokyo, Japan, lies a treacherous stretch of water that has been nicknamed the Devil's Sea. Due to a string of vessels and fishing boats that have disappeared, many compare it to the Bermuda Triangle. Now, the most famous of these disappearances happened in 1953 when a research fishery ship called the Kyotomoro No. 5, which consisted of 31 crew members and scientists combined, sailed into the area to investigate a recently formed volcanic island. Unfortunately, the vessel never returned from its voyage, with no traces left of it or the crew for that matter. With so many people missing there too, there has to be something else going on that they are experiencing that we don't know. And coming in at number 1 is the Nevada Triangle. Consisting of vast stretches of the desert and the Sierra Nevada mountains, this triangular area in the Silver State has made headlines in recent years due to a disappearance that occurred in 2000 2007. The victim was an aviator adventurer named Steve Fawcett who flew into the Nevada Triangle in a small plane and was never seen again despite the massive search for him. But he's not the only one, as many others have disappeared before him. Some 2,000 planes have been lost in the last 60 years. In this remotely populated area of more than 25,000 miles of mountain desert, many crashes are never found. Then, of course, Area 51 is there. With the area's close proximity to Area 51, it has led some theorists to speculate the presence of UFOs in the Nevada Triangle have been responsible for some of these disappearances. Well, that's all for our list of the top 10 portals on Earth that lead to a parallel dimension. Have you heard about any of these places? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. I'm your host, Emily, and we'll see you next time. Peace.